Okay, welcome to the next module in the search campaign setup. So let's briefly recap. So far, we've set up our search campaign settings and we've completed our keyword research. So now we're going to set up our ads. Before we move on to setting up the ads, I do want to make sure that you have the same keywords in your account as exact match and then again as broad match keywords. When you added keywords in the last video, you likely added broad match. So let's take a look at that. So go ahead and click on search keywords, depending on where you are. Again, your menu's over here on the left. Click on search keywords here, which is under audience, keywords, and content. Okay, so I have some keywords I've added in here. The type of keywords doesn't really matter for this, but we want to make sure that we dupe those keywords so that we have both broad and exact match. So I'll show you how you can easily do that. So you can see right now I have mostly broad match. So go ahead and click this box here. That will select all the keywords. Then head over to under edit, change match types down here, and say click on change all match types. So change match types, and we already have broad, so we're going to change that to exact. Now here's the key: keep the original keywords and duplicate keywords with the new match type, and that's what we want, and then hit apply. Now you'll notice that when I did that, there was a message that popped up down below that says your change was not applicable. So there's one setting in the search campaign that we want to turn off so that we can apply this duplication of the keywords in different match types. So let's go back there and I'll show you how to turn that off. And let's go to the search campaign here, click on the gear icon. Let's go into settings, and down here on broad match. So I just went and turned this off, but if this is not checked here, off, use keyword match types. If you don't have that checked, then you won't be able to do what I just showed you. So make sure this is checked. So let's go back. Now that I have that checked, I'm going to do it again. So I clicked on the campaign. Now I'm back in the ad group, and here's my keyword. So let's do this again. Click that button, it'll select all the keywords. And then down here to match types, change all match types. Keep the original, but let's duplicate them to exact and hit apply. And there you go, I get a different message down here. It says 18 keywords were updated. I really don't like automating anything with Google, or very little. The bidding, which when we set up the campaign and the campaign settings, that bidding is those strategies, automated bidding with maximized conversions or maximized traffic. Those settings are great, but some of these other settings, turning over that kind of power to Google is not effective right now, and it favors Google more than it favors you. Okay, so let's move on along now to creating our ads. From the keyword level, go ahead and click on ads in the left-hand menu. To create a new ad, just click the blue plus sign right here. Let's go ahead, we're gonna do a responsive search ad. First up is the final URL. So you're gonna put in the URL of your landing page, your website, where you're sending that traffic. So remember, whatever you're advertising, the landing page should reflect exactly what you're focused on in this particular ad group with this ad and these keywords. Let's say if it's couples massage, then the page should talk all about couples massage. If you're selling lash extensions, make sure you're sending traffic to a page that talks about that. Okay, so I added the URL of my landing page. I'm just using my website for now, so that you can see also the display path to make the URL you're sending the traffic to a bit more appealing for the searcher. So let's say I was advertising lashes, then I would perhaps type in something like this: Lush lashes. And there we go. We can see that shows up here, Lush lashes. So it's another way that the URL can appeal to the searcher, and I would encourage you to add a word or 2 words in there. But you don't have to use that display path. You can leave it blank if you want to. Okay, let's move on to headlines, because these are dynamic search ads, which means that Google will mix and match the headlines we give it along with the long descriptions to find the best performing combinations. We have up to 15 headlines that we can add, but the minimum you need is 3. So I encourage everyone to use them all. Will greatly improve your campaign performance because you give Google more options with your headlines. You only have 30 characters, so they need to be to the point. So we can see that Google provides some ideas here that it pulled from the landing page URL. Obviously it's pulling from my site, which is going to be different than yours, but your headline should be a mix of features and benefits that you know your customers are interested in, and then mix in some calls to action, such as call now, book online. Now, if you click up top on add more headlines, view ideas, Google will help you as well. So go ahead and add your 15 headlines now. So when I clicked on view ideas, you can see it gave me a bunch more ideas. It'll do the same for you after you have that final URL in there. So fill all these headlines out. Now you'll notice up here as well, as you're filling those out, you'll see the ad strength here. We want to get that as high as we can. So you're going to want to make sure that you use keywords as well, and keep playing around with it until you get that up to very high. We want to see it at X. We can just click on some of these to add them. Exceptional service, professional, full range. It's going to give you more relevant headlines because it'll pull from your URL, so they'll be relevant. So you can see our ad strength's poor because we're not done with the ad up here. View 13 more, free shipping, on-time delivery. I'm just kind of filling these out. Exclusive deals. So next are the long description, and Google allows us to have up to 4 long descriptions, each up to 90 characters. And similar to headlines, Google will mix and match these to find the best performing combinations. It's like they're going to run split tests constantly with your headlines and your descriptions. So in terms of content of the description, you should elaborate on the features and benefits that you put into the headlines that I talked about earlier. That's very related to your customers. So always think about your customers. What do they need to hear to become a customer? What sorts of things inhibit them? So always keep the customer in mind when you're writing these long descriptions, and add in calls to action again in the long descriptions. So here's a breakdown overall of just some feedback on how to write these headlines and descriptions. So with the descriptions, highlight key services. Clearly mention the main services that you offer: haircuts, massages, facials, etc. Unique selling points. Briefly state what sets you apart: experienced stylists, licensed estheticians, relaxing atmosphere, free aromatherapy, organic products. Then calls to action. Tell people what to do next. Book online today. Call for a free consultation. Use simple language too. Avoid jargon that perhaps your customers might not be familiar with. Don't use industry terms that customers are just not going to understand. So write conversationally, be friendly. Imagine you're talking to a friend, not writing a formal document. Number 3, keep it concise and relevant. Character limit. As we already discussed, you have limited space, so be concise and get to the point. Match the keywords. Ensure the description relates to the keywords you're targeting in your ad. That you're going to hear that theme throughout from this course, is that you want to stay on topic. If it's about lash extensions, make sure your description is talking about that. If it's facials or a hydrofacial, make sure you're talking about that. Number 4, include special offers or promotions. So attract attention. If you have any deals or discounts, include them in the description. Create urgency. Use phrases like limited time offer, book now, to encourage immediate action. So here's some example descriptions. Relaxing spa treatments, experienced therapist, book your escape today. Unique selling propositions here is an example of that. Award-winning salon, expert stylists, latest trends, schedule your appointment now. Here's one with an offer: luxurious facials, 20% off first visit, book online and unwind. So some additional tips as well: use the keywords strategically. So include those relevant keywords without keyword stuffing. It needs to sound natural. Test different descriptions, so make sure you write all 4 of the descriptions, and we'll be able to see which ones perform best. Localize your ads too. Don't forget, mention your city or neighborhood if you're targeting a specific area. When somebody first sees your ad, they may not know precisely where you're at, but if you can call attention, you're in this little neighborhood or at the corner of this or that or next to this big box store, that helps draw attention as well. So remember, clarity is key. Make sure your message is easy to understand. Emphasize benefits over features. Focus on what customers will gain from your services. Proofread carefully and avoid typos and grammatical errors. So by following these guidelines, even those new to Google Ads, you can create compelling ad descriptions that attract potential customers and drive bookings for your salon or spa services. Next up is business name and logos. Go ahead and click on Get Access and go through the process that Google requires, which is that you have to be a verified advertiser before they will allow you to upload a logo and your business name. So you can go through that process. Next are going to be site links. Site links are really what they sound like. They're links to other parts of your website. I would aim to add anywhere from 2 to 4. If you can add more, that's great. You don't have to add these, but they do improve the ad performance and click-through rate. So use site links to add things like your booking link. It could say book now, a link to your About Us page, a link to your Contact Us page. To create one of those, just go ahead and click this plus sign here, and you'll see some fields that show up here. So again, let's say you have a booking link or a page where you can book the appointment. You would say book now here. Type in a description if you want. You don't have to fill those out completely. And then the final URL. That can be a different URL than the page that you're sending the normal ad traffic to. Link to your About Us page, link to the Contact Us page. And if you're running any promotions, and let's say you have a promotions page, add a link to that page here as well. So again, click on that plus sign to add one of the site links. Type in the text in the description. So for example, we can do Contact Us, and then the final URL will just be that. Just off the 15 freeway. So contact us, just off the 15 freeway, free parking and a link. Like, that's great, right? Like, they're like, oh, these guys are nearby. Boom, I want to go, because they take walk-ins. And I'm going to click that link. I'm going to find out exactly where they are. Now, down below, you'll see Sitelink URL Options. You don't need to worry about that, but let's talk about advanced options here. So with the advanced options, you can set up day parting or a schedule to have the site link run only on specific days and times. Plus, you can set an end date. So this is really helpful. For example, if there's a holiday coming up and you have let's say a dedicated page to promos for that holiday, set an end date for this to have it automatically stop. Or perhaps you're always slow on Mondays. Set a site link with an offer to run only on Mondays during business hours and direct the searcher to a page on your website with the promotions. Next, let's move on to more asset types here, and you'll see a number of them here. We have promotions, prices, calls, callouts, structured, snippets, lead forms, and apps. What you're really going to be focused on at a minimum, make sure to add a calls number in here for calls. Go ahead and click and add your number in there. You also have advanced options here as well. So let me go back to calls. So let's say I want to make a change to that. Maybe you have an after hours phone number, right? That's different than your daytime. So you can schedule this to run in the evenings if you wanted. So lots of options there. Not going to save that, but go ahead and add your phone number in there. This will impact somebody that sees the ad, clicks on it. They can call directly if they want to. So it's a nice feature for those that don't want to click through the website. So at a minimum, you want calls and you want callouts. Now, callouts are similar to site links, except they're not links. They are small little text snippets that can appear below your ad. So I typically use these callouts for features and benefits of your service. You know, even things like free parking, licensed estheticians, walk-ins welcome, open weekends, things like that you know are important to your customer. Again, go back to your customer. What's most important to them? Use ChatGPT to help brainstorm features and benefits of your service as well to add in there if you're getting stuck. So when you click on those, when you create them, you'll see a preview over here on the right as well. And don't forget, you can click on desktop and see what that looks like. Kind of give you an idea of the ad itself. So I'm going to hit cancel and get out of that. So again, it's calls and callouts. Now you can add promotions in here if you want as well. You don't need to. A lot of my clients don't use this, but it's up to you. These assets here can really help click-through rate. So if you have some promotions and you want to try running that, then go ahead. These are a great idea to leverage. I don't use structured snippets all that much. And lead forms are similar to Facebook lead ads, where you capture a lead right from the ad itself. We don't run those very often, and most likely you don't have an app, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so just remember, with assets in a search campaign, Google chooses when to show these, but they have a significant benefit to the success of your ad campaigns and will increase the performance of your ads. So like I said, at a minimum, you should be using calls and callouts. Okay, there's one other campaign asset that I want you to make sure that you have configured here. So from the campaign level, go down and click on assets. This is another way to get to all of your assets. And you will see an area here for location. So go ahead and click on location. And this is going to be applicable for anybody that has a physical brick and mortar location, not necessarily for mobile, or if you go to the customer. So go ahead and click on location, then click this plus sign, and you should see a pop-up similar to this, our location. So what this is going to do is pull in your Google Business Profile, which pulls in your address and your phone number into the ads as well. It's called a location extension. So go ahead and click continue. Right here is find Google Business Profile, select the Business Profile Manager account, and then go ahead and click continue, and you should see your business listed here. So go ahead and you'll add that, click save, and that's it. So again, site links, callouts, calls, and location extensions you should all have.